All right, well, if you've been feeling like it's spring lately, you are not alone, and no, it is not merely a figment of your imagination.
Not one bit. In fact, some of our states' record highs are getting a little challenge. So let's bring in team weather coverage with why this is happening. We've got Chief Meteorologist Eddie Garcia and Meteorologist Brandon Richards tonight, guys.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely not a figment of your imagination. You step outside, you feel that warmth out there. And you know, we've been talking and discussing this in the weather office, that how does this compare to the outlook, which was released by the Storm Prediction Center back in November? It's interesting to see what the prediction from that national entity was before winter started and where we were, especially in light of yesterday reaching the 80s in some parts of the state.
This is fake spring. Maybe call it fake spring out there for a lot of people. But I actually did the math. I've got those temperatures out for you. Let's start with what the record highs we saw this week first. So the first record high we had was Tuesday. That would be at Raton. They tied the record high at 70 degrees. That was set back in 2016 when they last tied it again. But for instance, the average high is 51 in Raton, so well above that. The next record we had was in Roswell. That was Wednesday, so yesterday. 85 degrees in February. That ties the old record set back only in 2017. The average high for this date, 64 in Roswell. So, did it verify? Here's the Climate Prediction Center's outlook for the winter temperature outlook that was issued in November. You see, it was really, they were just looking for near normal temperatures across most of the state. Well, I looked at Albuquerque's temperatures in specifics from December 1st up until yesterday, where we had the temperature data. Believe it or not, we were about 1.7 degrees above the normal temperature, and this is kind of a mean temperature between high and lows, so 40.2 degrees. That's what we observed. So Tessa, Trevor, Eddie, believe it or not, we were almost 2 degrees above the average temperature for winter. Does it feel like it, though? Do you think it verified?
I mean, yeah, when you're talking about temperatures on average, a 2-degree discrepancy is kind of a big deal.
Significant, yeah.
It is.
I just go back to the fact that it's February.
Right.
And, wearing short sleeve shirts outside and it's fine.
This is true.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I mean, we've had a lot of ups and downs this winter, but the ups were more significant temperature-wise than the lows were.
Yeah.
And of course, speaking about ups and downs, we're going to be facing that headed toward the weekend. I mean, it's just part of the deal. It's just part of the deal, yeah. But yeah, we are actually going to be seeing a little bit of a warm up, and then the next storm is on the way to remind us it's actually winter. So let's take a look at what we are seeing out there. Thank you very much, Brandon, for that. I appreciate it. We are looking at some nice pictures of life down there in Ruidoso. It is a great sunset as we look at our live camera out at Navajo Lake, the sky cam showing the mountains there in the distance, and you can see that things are really quiet here compared to yesterday regarding the wind speeds, because most all of those are dying down. We're going to continue to see that downtrend happening as we get toward the rest of the evening. So I'm looking at mostly teens as far as sustained wind speeds go in central and northern New Mexico and southern areas of the state. It has really calmed down. You can see that as far as the high wind gust, most of those have fallen off the map, and that leaves us with a very nice evening. It is a little bit cooler than we were 24 hours ago, so your temperatures are in the 40s across the north, mostly 50s and 60s across the south. But yeah, you compare where we were, which we were talking about tying highs for the day. Carlsbad yesterday reached 86 degrees. So we're talking about nearly the 90s in February, which does show the point that we are still warmer than average. But right now we are looking at some pretty dry conditions out there. We certainly could use more rain, and that is in the forecast. I'll show you what that means for your community in just one moment. Otherwise, for tonight, I'm expecting quiet and cold conditions. Tonight's lows are going to be a little bit colder. We're looking for some 20s and teens across most of the northern half of the state and southern New Mexico, mostly 30s, a few 40s out there like Carlsbad, and very close to that in areas like Deming. All in all, though, as we head toward Friday, it's going to be kind of a mild picture. Tomorrow's going to be slightly warmer. than we saw today. Otherwise, it doesn't look like we're going to have any hazards regarding that high wind and red flag danger tomorrow or into Saturday. Just a pleasant start to the weekend, but Sunday hits, and we are getting some indication that it's going to be a windy situation across eastern areas of the state as the next system begins to aim for us. So we're going to be looking at a very slight chance of some light showers across the northwest, and then that fire threat may return to eastern areas of the state. Of course, we're going to be looking at that chance for rain moving in on Monday. I think it's going to be mostly wind. It's going to take a while for that atmosphere to moisten from the top down. But as we look toward Tuesday, I think we're going to have a little bit better luck with some rain showers across the west, southern New Mexico, also northern mountain snow. But at this moment, it looks like it's going to be a very short-lived type of storm. Certainly the wind will be returning, and we'll be keeping a daily eye on those red flag conditions and the potential for fire weather. So as we look toward tomorrow, we're going to be expecting those temps in the mid 60s, about 75 degrees though for Roswell for your high on Saturday, and getting to the 80s by Sunday. Now across the southwest for tomorrow, I'm expecting slightly warmer temperatures in Reserve and Silver City, low 60s there. Across the northwest, mostly sunny conditions, a high of around 55 Gallup. The same thing predicted for areas like Farmington, and you can see by the beginning of next week, we're getting that increasing chance for rain and wind. Across the North Mountains for tomorrow, I'm predicting mostly 40s in Red River Angel Fire, but 50s just about everywhere else. Even reaching 60 degrees for your high on Sunday for Santa Fe with a chance of rain by the beginning of next week. Across the Northeast for tomorrow, going to be seeing mostly 50s all around, except a little bit warmer in Santa Rosa and places like Tucumcari. The East Mountains also looking mostly sunny, a high of around 50 in Sandia Park to about 56 in Moriarty and Estancia, and looking from Belen to Bosque Farms into the Rio Grande Valley, that's going to be mostly all lower 60s. I'm expecting that the wind will not be as breezy as today. So for Rio Rancho, it's looking gorgeous this weekend. Sunny and 70 for Sunday. And then by the beginning of next week, especially Tuesday, we're getting that chance for rain, but also a lot of wind. And that's going to be on the way.